Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome to another top 10 video timed to coincide with the AliExpress mid-year sale. Today it is my 10 favourite new releases by San Martin. Yes, you heard me right, top 10 new releases. Correct me if I'm wrong. Who am I kidding? This is the internet. People will correct me even if I'm right. I think this was the first ever watch made by San Martin. Certainly it was the first watch of theirs that I reviewed way back in August 2019. Fast forward less than 3 years and they now make literally dozens and dozens and dozens of different models. That is explosive growth if ever I've seen it. They pump out new models at such a rate that I cannot possibly keep up, hence the top 10 today. Now you saw the pop-up. This video is sponsored by the San Martin official store on AliExpress. They didn't send me 10 watches, but they did send me a few. I will therefore use my own macro footage and wrist shots where possible and use photos from their listings where not possible. But just because this video is sponsored by San Martin, I'm not going to recommend that you blindly buy anything and everything that they sell. In fact, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you 2 of their watches that I don't recommend. Now, I'll leave links to all of these in the order that I show them in the description of the video. The sale starts in a couple of days time, but Ali allows you to put items into your cart, lock in the sale price, so if you're keen on one of these, I'd suggest you do that. Plenty to get through today then, let's get on with it. Okay, so the first watch on today's list has been a real surprise for me. It's one of their original designs, which is a surprise in itself. And depending on your movement choice, it is under $200 during the sale in either blue or black. I'm just gonna say it, this is the best made watch I have ever seen for under $200. It makes the Orient Komatsu look and feel like a kid's toy, a cheap kid's toy by comparison. They call this one the SN021-A, and even though it's an original design, it does remind me of a mini turtle or perhaps a shrunken sumo, if you see what I mean. It is slightly dive watch generic in style therefore, but it does have all the specs that you would expect, including 200 meters of water resistance, a ceramic bezel insert, good lume, applied indices, and a 4-hole double trigger fully milled clasp. The bracelet is outrageously good, beautifully machined and finished with brushed and polished surfaces and chamfered edges to the whole thing. The only real neg I can see with this one is the movement choice. It's fitted with a Miyota 8215. Personally, I would have preferred a Seiko NH35 or Epson YN55, but I guess they had to save a bit of money somewhere. One interesting option with this one, however, is the Miyota 8315. This is a premium version with hacking, a skeletonized lightweight rotor, and a 60-hour power reserve. This movement is beginning to appear in micro brands more and more these days and offers a budget alternative to the Swatch Group's Powermatic 80. The design of this one might be a bit conservative for some, but I say it again, the build quality and finish is just amazing for under $200. I think I might have to buy another Komatsu and do a comparison between them soon. Okay, next up is an updated version of one of their biggest sellers. They refer to this one as the Vintage 6200. It's also known as the SN004. I'll put all model numbers down in the bottom corner throughout today. During the sale, this one will be just under $270 US. It always was a beautifully made watch, and they have carried out a number of improvements which take this new model to the next level. They've upgraded the movement to a high beat auto, so either a PT5000 or SW200. They've changed the bezel action. It feels sharper, crisper, and sounds better, a little bit snickier and snappier than before. Indices are now applied rather than painted on, which of course has a knock-on effect with better lume. Dial branding has also changed to the hexagon logo, but in gold and only printed on this time, which I think is a good call on this one. Female end links help a watch that always used to wear well now wear even better. Carryovers include double dome sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, a ceramic bezel insert, a great fully milled clasp with 4 holes of micro adjust that is the San Martin standard across many of their models. The upgrades do come at a cost, however, so it's nice to see they still sell the original 6200 and it's available for less than $200 in the sale. I'll leave links to both of those in the description of the video. Watch number 3 is another version 2 upgrade, and it's an upgrade of my favourite San Martin, the watch that I'm wearing currently. It's the V2 of their 39mm Explore Climbing Series watch. These are $217 on sale, either black or Tiffany blue, logo or non-logo variants. The The movement in this one is the Epson YN55, the same movement that powers the aforementioned Orient Komatsu. San Martin's version of a 39mm Oyster case wears fabulously. It is so smooth, no sharp edges anywhere, and has female end links as a bonus. It's the kind of watch that you just don't want to take off because it's so bloody comfortable. Again, box dome sapphire crystal and decent lume in the form of Superluminova BGW9 on the hands and the now applied indices rather than the printed markers of the previous generation. Packaging, by the way, is the same for all of these watches. A very neat little plastic tube with all documents and a couple of tools hidden down at the bottom. This is their only 39mm Oyster case variant, so if you like that size of watch, then frankly this is your only choice from San Martin. Watch number 4 is a new version of the 6200/004, but this time in CU SN8 marine grade bronze. It isn't San Martin's first foray into bronze, but it's their first in a while, and I think it really suits the retro looks of this model. Just under $275 during the sale picks you up one of these. Again, you have the option of 2 different high beat automatic movements and upgrades to dial, lume, bezel action, etc, etc, all exactly the same as the new upgraded stainless steel model. I also like the suede strap they've chosen for this one. It is super comfortable straight out of the box, features quick release spring bars, and looks like it will age well in tandem with that bronze case, crown, bezel and buckle, which is exactly what you want. So now you have the looks of the 6200, but with a couple of different material options to choose from. At number 5, we are back in homage land with this one, and they're not even subtle about it. They refer to it simply as a BB36. $266 during the sale gets you a choice of 3 colours: green and gold, black and gold, or a very nice looking Tiffany blue with grey surrounds to those hands and applied indices. So 2 retro colourways and 1 sharp looking modern version. Again, high beat movements are offered in the form of the PT5000 and SW200, just like last time, and it finally seems like San Martin are getting on top of their branding issues of old, with the same branding, which I think is appropriate branding for once, on the dial, the crown and the clasp. Now, everything I said about the 39mm Oyster case applies to this one as well, but just in a slightly smaller and slightly lighter package. It's another watch you just won't want to take off after you put it on. At number 6 is a very, very interesting proposition. I actually asked San Martin if they could send me one of these, but they didn't, which is a bit of a shame because I was really looking forward to seeing one in the flesh. It's a Seagull ST1901 powered dive chronograph version of a Seiko 62 mass style case. Now, I know that is a lot to take in, so I'm going to say it all again. A manual wind column wheel chronograph powered retro style dive watch, and I think it looks awesome. Stainless steel bezels are so in right now and very in keeping with this watch's retro looks. It's a 41 across the bezel and nearly 50mm lug to lug, so do bear that in mind, but it's such an oddity to have a Seagull powered dive chrono and then to have it available for less than $280. So Seiko didn't actually ever make anything like this, so it's certainly not a copy, but it's still not entirely original if you see what I mean, because it borrows the overall case profile from the 62 mass. It's weird, but I like it. This one, however, is entirely original. I mean, look at those hands. I don't even know what to call them. Is there even a word to describe them? If you know, leave me a comment. I don't think I've seen anything quite like them before. 2 colour variants are available: grey enamel dial with orange ceramic bezel, or black enamel dial with red ceramic bezel, both NH35 powered, both just over $200. It's a 4020 with 48mm lug to lug, 200 meters of water resistance, a crown at 345, BGW9 lume and a 5-link engineer. And as if all of that oddness wasn't enough, you need to use a screwdriver to remove the bracelet rather than a spring bar tool. No one can accuse San Martin of copying anyone else's design for this one, because frankly, no one else has designed anything quite like this one before. Next up at number 8, it's a very simple retro pilot's watch with a twist. The twist being that the white dial variant is a full lume dial with unlumed negative hands. The black dial version has a non-lumed dial but with fully lumed white hands, kind of like negative versions of each other then. These are under $175 during the sale. And this is one case where I think I might go for a sterile dial option. Retro Fliegers and Pilot's watches I think always look better with a sterile dial. Again, it's the Epson YN55 powering this one. And it has a pumpkin/onion crown, 5-link engineer bracelet, but with the smaller push button clasp and only 2 holes of micro adjust. Do bear that in mind, you're probably going to be wearing this one loose therefore. But this one is a 38mm with a 44.5mm lug to lug, so the watch being slightly smaller, wearing it slightly looser is okay. At number 9, it appears that Seagull powered dive chronos are like buses. You wait for years and then several come along all at once. This one clearly though taking its inspiration from the recently released Tudor Black Bay chronograph, even sharing the same panda and reverse panda colorways. $268 for either of those two colors during the sale. As usual, case and bracelet finishing is super sharp. This one's chrono pushers are screwed down, but being a manual winder, the crown isn't. I guess they were just going for the looks with that then. 100 meters of water resistance mean it can still be used for its intended purpose though. It is a bit chunky, 14mm thick being a side effect of using that Seagull movement. Now stay tuned to the channel, you'll be seeing a 3-way head-to-head between this watch, a cheaper Pagani design homage, and the original Tudor. Courtesy of you-know-who, the one and only Mr. X. And finally at number 10, I'm going to cheat just a little bit here by including a watch that I have briefly featured on the channel before. It's an applied index Mercedes hand 36mm oyster case variant of the BB36 that I showed you a few minutes ago, and I just love the colours available. Blue looks okay, black looks good, Tiffany blue if you haven't already seen enough of that particular colour, but for me it's the yellow dial and the orange dial that steal the show here. $245 during the sale gets you the PT5000 version of any of those colours, or $380, which I appreciate is proper money. That gets you the Sellita SW200 power version. Probably worth spending the extra if you're going to keep one of these and run it long term as a daily. The question is therefore, are you brave enough to run an orange or yellow dialed watch as a daily? Okay then, what about the two that I don't recommend you buy? Well, there's a theme with these two, perhaps you can guess what it is. I clearly have no problem with San Martin's homage models. My favourite watch of theirs, and the one that I wear regularly, is the 39mm Explorer homage. What I don't understand is they're making a homage of a watch that is already affordable. For example, this SN12 is clearly a homage of the Helm Vanuatu. Now on sale and it's available for $185, but that is less than $100 less than the actual Helm. I don't see the point of buying a homage watch when the price of the homage watch is so close to the price of the original watch. I'm sure it's nicely done, all San Martins are, but you really may as well spend a bit more and get the real deal. I appreciate there's a waiting list associated with Helm, but there is a reason for that. Don't be tempted by this one, just wait. Same goes for this, their brand new SN023, quite clearly a Tissot PRX copy. Now ordinarily, a Miyota 9015 powered watch by San Martin with an integrated bracelet for $275 would get 2 thumbs up from me, but considering it is almost exactly the same price as the quartz Tissot, I just can't recommend it. I'm sure the San Martin will have better lume than the Tissot and be materially identical elsewhere. It just looks the same, but again, I don't see the point of a homage priced so closely to the original. San Martin have built their brand primarily on making really very high quality but very affordable versions of classic watch designs. I think perhaps they've misjudged the market with these two and the reasons why people buy homage watches in the first place. I'm sure these two will find some owners, but they leave me scratching my head a little. So there you have it, my top 10 new releases by San Martin and 2 that I suggest you skip. Given how quickly they are releasing new models, I'll be making another one of these top 10 videos about 2 weeks on Wednesday. If none of these tickled your fancy, why not check out my top 10 San Martin recommendations video from last November, or check out my full review of their excellent 6200/004 model. Thanks for watching, I'll see you again in a future video.